Campfire time.
Yeah, we like just kind of. I imagine we just like kind of slowly. Oh, our cat. We kind of slowly set up like camp. Ellie has still been kind of sheepish and not really looking anybody kind of directly, in like face to face or making eye contact. But when we like finally like sit down and settle down and just kind of sitting in front of the fire, and I imagine we do this in dead silence. And Ellie just kind of like abruptly, just like kind of like without warning, and it's just like, I think we should talk about it. I think we should talk about us.
What is there to talk about?
I mean,
I think our lack of talking says that there is certainly something we need to talk about.
we don't really know that much about each other. And we didn't know that much
about each other.
What'd you say? Sorry.
You and I know plenty about each other.
You and I know plenty about each other.
Well, I know we do, but I don't know much about Keyanthi or Ciara. I mean, outside of her Jewett circles, I don't know. I just feel bad that we didn't know anything about Sirena.
I feel that, I think for a few of us, it's just been hard to talk about our personal lives because it's been a lot of pain. But at this point, if we plan on sticking around together, the pain is just going to come up anyway.
And I mean, and I look towards Luna, and I'll be like, I mean, to be honest, I've been hiding stuff too.
What? What do you mean? She's just like baffled. Like Ellie and hiding things are just in different parts of her brain. So.
Well, yes, I've been on this spirit pilgrimage, but I actually ran away from home. I caused my parents great pain just being in that town. And nobody accepted me, and my presence just kind of pushed people away. And once spirits said that they needed my help, I thought this was the perfect opportunity to just leave.
Have you contacted your parents since?
Well, when we wrote letters, I mean, I think you brought that up. I didn't even think about it.
You see, like, Narte, like, awkwardly stirring the pot, and he's just like, I mean, do you guys need a minute? Like, should I go? Should I go?
No, you can share my story with us too. Peer pressure.
If you're eating, then Ciara's probably nibbling on something probably she had in her pack, and just offhandedly she's like, love and pain are strands in the same embroidery of life. You need one in order to experience the other, and need the other in order to appreciate one.
Was she nibbling on a fortune cookie? That was good.
Yeah.
Pulled it out of her
I mean, I guess that's right.
Oh no. You see, like, the other two arcane boys come back. Kenny has, like, bits of, like, dried... He found something to burn. Same with Farius, and then Narte says to both of them, hey, we're gonna talk about our feelings. And then Kenny's just like... Okay. And Farius just sort of blankly looks at you guys, and then says, I don't have feelings. And then he walks away.
Well, that's one thing.
That is a broken man. I'm kidding.
Well,
Kenny watches him leave, and he's like, "That's just how he is. Let him. It's fine."
Ellie, I have a question. Are you wondering more about why we're all traveling? Is that really it?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, now I'm actually questioning my own journey. Hold on 1 second. Gotta set the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the spirits told me to go on this journey, but I don't know. Ever since we started, we've just been finding more pain and more demons, and now we had our friend died. I don't even know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Have you heard anything from them recently?
I mean, not really.
Spirits or her parents?
The spirits.
Okay, I've seen her parents.
It's
I guess I haven't really asked them.
You haven't seen any. You haven't seen any spirits.
Yeah.
Like it's like something's been collecting them. Like they're just not here.
I mean,
You can occasionally see like a nature-bound spirit, but not any living souls.
Not on here.
Yeah,
Well, aside from what you lost, what have you learned? The bad, the good, the ugly, the interesting, the funny.
I mean, I guess the bad led us to you.
Don't step on toothy logs. That's a lesson.
She kind of like buckles it. She's like, yeah. I guess that makes sense. And I guess
Fairly
if we didn't go on
resourceful.
this pilgrimage, we wouldn't have met Keyanthi either.
You lot
Yes.
are fairly resourceful considering what you did on the river earlier on.
Some things you have to learn, apparently. However, I believe the first time we all met, they were also on a raft, and I
That's
tried
true.
to jump out. I tried to jump out to them, and then I kind of just did not have a great entrance. So I'm just glad something useful happened that I've tried.
Sure, it was a majestic swan dive.
Yeah, it was.
I,
It was pretty
I remember it didn't go well.
Something else didn't go well. Like you.
Like
Oh.
actual rescue raft went out.
Like, in your mind,
Yeah. No. What happened was, you did a majestic swan dive, and then I had you do an athletics check to get there, but the rescue raft beat you. And so, like, you're just like, I'm here to save you. And they're like, thanks, we're already on this other raft.
Either way, that's how it felt. I don't remember things. You think this brain is beautiful for, like, remembering facts? No, it's for making stuff up. Alright, next. Anyway, what was I talking about?
Why you guys left on that journey?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Narte says, I suppose this is gonna come up at some point or another, because apparently we need to meet my ex-fiance. So, as some of you know, I'm gay, and my parents wanted me to marry a lady, and as, you know, as nobles do, being the son of a duke, and at first I was like, okay, I'll suck it up and do it, and then I figured out that I couldn't do it because it was not for me. And too much of my identity is tied into my sexuality, so I ran away and joined the army, and I've kind of been trying to find my purpose. I met Kenny, and he like gives Kenny like a bro punch, and Kenny's just like, good times. I'm pretty good about myself now. You know, like I feel weird going to meet my ex-fiance because we need to save Serena's brother with him. And I'm also worried about Reorg because I don't know if he'll actually be okay. But that's a whole other thing. And Kenny's just like, we can't. Kenny jumps in and says, we can't share a ton about ourselves because we're quite literally arcanic spies. And so he kind of like, he's like, I can tell you that I was trained with the Deliva clan in military tactics. Ciara, you would recognize the Deliva clan as where Cryos studied. Actually.
She has like just little. Really? Small world.
Yeah, and basically my end goal is to join the Ilia Kudan, which is the Emperor's Honor Guard, and that's kind of what I'm moving towards. And then I wound up being a fugitive in Drow territory, and now I'm trying to get back. As far as he's just like, I can't tell you about my family. I can tell you why I can turn into a dog. I had a pet dog growing up. His name was Chewy. And as arcane elves, we form a bond with an animal when we're young, and then we can change it. And then Narche's just like, I had a pet peacock. I really like purple. It's just like, I mean, you already know I'm. You'll know eventually that I'm. This is Narte speaking. My father is Duke Aquilin, and I have a younger brother. And we're from. My family's land is in the Violet Kingdom. So that's me. And then they look over to Farius, who is in the books again, ignoring all of this. Do you want to
make up a story about them?
Do you want to share anything, dude? And like he just makes this rude gesture at them, and they're like, okay.
Noted.
He used to be a boatman. He had a wife. She fell off the boat, turned into a crocodile, and has been chasing him ever since. You could tell it in his eyes. You are bringing a little bit of levity to the situation.
Like, Ellie, like, kind of, like, puts her hand to her mouth, and she's, like, actually kind of giggling, and just...
I feel your pain, brother! Come closer to the fire! Warm the cold cockles of your chilled, broken heart! We'll weave it together with love! Friendship, even! Camaraderie! Come on, I haven't known you long, but I wish to know you longer.
Two arcane elves like go over and literally drag Various to the fire, and it's just like, I keep everything.
The magic of bromance.
There's something, and he's just like,
tell us about your wife. What was she like before?
Tell us about the crocodile.
Various grumbles, and he's like, which ex-wife do you want to know about?
Oh. Ciara, like, oh. The eagle, the crocodile, or the Pelly and me?
I turn towards Ciara, and I'm just like, I thought it was a joke.
I did too.
Luna's just confused.
She's like, I did too.
Luna's like thinking that he's like, I thought you were our, like, kind of throwing at herself, like, because she thought like they were close to her age, and she's like, when did you have time to get married and divorced and married and divorced? Maybe again.
And you have time to get divorced no matter who you are, where you are, or what you're doing. Some people just don't take advantage. She just says it.
I like kind of scratch the back of my head. I'm like, I guess it's something you gotta really work for. Gotta really work to get divorced?
and then get married again?
It can be a lot of legal trouble.
I guess if you put your mind to it, anything's possible. I just imagine just Barry's just 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, he's like not into this, and then like he looks like you see him like looking to the distance, and he looks back to the group and he says, "I have an ex-husband too."
It's like one of those mockumentaries where they sit straight at the camera.
Luna's like, I guess whichever story is the hottest tea.
Hottest tea. So he's just like, would be my ex-husband because she's like, well, basically I stole him from his wife, and then he died tragically, and I inherited all his money.
That's one way to do it.
I think like that. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, condolences. Here I'm realizing, oh, condolences.
How did he die tragically?
The first wife eat him as a crocodile. Just
You-
trying to get a laugh out of him.
You see him like casually sip his drink, and he says, "Poison."
Luna's like, I knew it.
And that's how you have plenty of time for divorcing and marrying, eh?
I mean, speaking of lovers, I mean, Luna, do you ever want to see Galak again?
She kind of blushes a bit. Well, yeah.
Oh, that's the one you've been talking to all the time. Whenever there's a message, please.
Oh, I forgot to write him back after Toral. Dang it. Oh well. Well, I want to see him again. I just don't know if I want to go back home, you know?
Why did you... I mean, I know you left to help me out, but, like... Why would you just leave him behind?
Narte is so into this, by the way.
Well,
Just like, oh my god, yes, tea at long last.
I mean, you've met my dad, right?
Have I? I don't think I have. I think
Have
I've
you?
always...
I don't think I
Oh,
have.
I think you've only met her mom, actually.
You've
Yeah.
only met Jade.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I've only really know your mom. I haven't... You don't talk about your dad too much.
Yeah. I mean, he's great. He's nice and all. I love him and everything, but he's so excited about this idea of me kind of taking his place eventually. And
I mean,
I
that's good, right?
it's supposed to be, but it doesn't feel good, or I don't know if I want to do that. And I know Lionel's definitely not interested or qualified.
And qualifications.
But I just don't know what to do, because if I don't step up, then that means nobody's going to do it. But if I do, I don't know if I'll be miserable. Like, honestly, I was thinking of run away before you showed up. I just didn't because I couldn't talk Galak into coming with me. Because he didn't want to get in between me and my family.
Ellie gives out a little chuckle and is just like, I guess we both kind of had the same idea. We just both need a reason to leave.
Yeah.
I guess the
And
question
now my dad...
go back.
Yeah, but and now my dad's just being a jerk about it all, because I guess somebody spilled the beans that we had been dating. And now my dad is like racked up a bill for everything that he'd broken in the last 20 years on our estate.
I mean, are you guys not supposed to be dating? Why can't you and Galak be dating?
He just doesn't like Galak.
Well, she's just like Galak because you like Galak. That just makes sense to me.
That's what I think too, but yeah, he just doesn't like him.
Maybe he likes the business proposal of it. I mean, look at here. If the marriage doesn't work out, there's always divorce.
Yeah.
Look at your friends. Divorce is always an option. And she like points to the others, like especially the one who's just like enjoying the tea. But at the same time, if you don't want to compromise what you're, if you don't want to compromise the matters of the heart, then nothing wrong with going on a little bit of soul-searching adventure. Especially if someone's kicking up dust at the homestead.
Yeah. I don't know. It was really weird. Just like my last boyfriend was actually a noble, and that would have worked out just fine if he wasn't such a jerk.
I mean,
but
sorry.
Sorry, what was that, Ellie?
Yeah, I know you're worried about your father's estate, but do you think that's gonna make you happy? Like how Galak makes you happy?
I want to think it would, because like my dad always talks about how it's just like you have this, like you got to just commit your life to something that's good, and you're helping other people, and you're doing something rather than doing nothing. So that should make you happy. And I don't know, I don't know how to tell him that either, because he always saw me as just daddy's little girl sort of thing.
I mean, that's kind of what we're doing right now. I mean, we've stopped a number of demons. We've helped people along the way.
That's true. Just a matter of when I go home.
Narte just has like these big eyes looking at Luna, just like, I totally feel you, girl. All of this. Just like I ran away to escape my noble expectations, but I mean, lucky for me, my younger brother actually is competent and probably is way better for the role anyway. But honestly, between you and me, there's always someone to fill that role. It could either be you, or your brother, or a distant cousin, or whoever else the king puts in charge. Hope that helps take some of the burden off.
I just don't know who it would be, at least as far as like sticking with the Arnold family.
Find someone higher in the totem pole. Have them owe you a favor. Then have them do you a favor. But that's just my input. What do I know?
Luna, for some reason, Luna, she saw it as just like what she said, higher on the totem pole. She just saw higher on like the family tree, and she's like, they're human, they're all dead.
Ciara coming in from like a little bit of an espionage level, like, oh no, okay, so you go into like in her brain, it's like, oh, you just go to someone higher ranking. It'll be great.
No problem.
Have a king owe you a favor somewhere. That's easy.
A lot of the other human nobles don't really like my family. That's after my dad married an elf.
Ciara just stares at her for a moment, as if it just occurred to her. She looks at her ears, looks at her ears, her. Ah, see.
See how my ear hair's slightly shorter than yours.
Oh yeah, I thought I just wouldn't mention it. I thought it might be rude.
I mean,
or something.
Would it be so bad if there wasn't a heir? I mean, it sounds like a lot of your family just wants to do their own thing. I mean, Lionel doesn't want to take up the heir. I mean, given that you're here right now, I mean, it kind of spells out that you don't want to. And neither does your mom.
Pretty much.
I mean, I know you've been trying to help me out with my whole pilgrimage, but if you really want to, and I grab her hands like excitedly, like, I mean, we could go see Galak. We can see him if you want to. And like you visually see that like the blue tone on her face actually starts to lighten up. And like sprouting out of the snow, just like poking out just leaves in the
little flower buds.
Yeah. And like the snow is slowly starting to like melt away as she is reverting back to her spring form.
Ciara looks gobsmacked, like,
Gob was so mad.
Ooh.
Gobsmacked just like all.
Brighter words up in here.
Yeah. Luna
Just
actually
like
yeah.
She's sprouting. What happened? It's like a why she
Keyanthi-
green? What happened?
Keyanthi would just reach over and like help brush the snow off of Ellie. Would that count?
Yeah.
Yeah, Luna kind of squeezes Ellie's hands, and like her eyes are getting a little red.
Ciara looks like she's like, oh, in her mind, I've missed something. It's all right. They're having a moment. Don't ask questions. Roll with it.
That'd be great, but I guess let's first see what's going on with your journey. Like when you can finally hear from the spirits again.
Okay.
Does that
Really, just
help
down
you?
here, Beatrix doesn't really allow rogue souls to be rolling around since they're in her dominion.
I'm sorry, what?
Let's get out of Beatrix's dominion. That's what my mother would say, and did say.
Beatrix,
Yeah.
it's where we all go when we die.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to meet Galak.
Oh, sorry, I was answering Keyanthe's question. I promise. I was just speaking into nothing.
I don't know who is talking to who anymore. I'm just gonna sit quietly until someone addresses my name again.
Oh, I was answering your question, Keyanthi, about who's Beatrix? The what?
Yes. I don't remember my question from 2 seconds ago. Don't worry about me.
Oh no, you asked the
Okay.
what, and I was just like, oh, Beatrix, it's where our souls go when we all die.
Okay.
Just
Nice.
casually threw that in.
Of course. Anyway, Ellie, does that help you feel a little better? Knowing a bit more about what's on everyone's mind?
Yeah, any more questions, Vilas?
I wish I could help you. I don't know what you're searching for.
That's a common problem. Now they just kind of, she's been like looking to the side just to herself the whole time.
I mean, why did you join the monastery in the first place?
Well, as it seems for most children of noble families, no one likes it, and so everyone leaves. For me, my family, she can't even get the words right. She still, even though she's seen what's happened, even though, like, her brother, Oriander, was, like, tried to kill her a little while ago, even though she was sent on this glorious little mission to help, undermine the criminal activities of her family, she's still having trouble saying they're bad people. She's having issues with that. And so... yeah. Ask me about Raheem. Do that.
Yeah, who was that guy
I
that you
can't
were
think of
seeing
what
in
his-
Gundrick?
Huh?
Who's that guy you were seeing in Gundrick?
Seeing... You mean Raheem?
Yeah.
He is my friend from the monastery. He helped me find my way there after I left home.
I mean, how close of a friend? I mean, it seemed like you were interested in him, but you also weren't taking the Queen's Lace when I offered it.
Queen's
Yeah,
Lace
they
is
like side
control.
to side.
Is it what?
It's birth control.
Oh. Does someone whisper that to Ciara because she just
Yeah, like it would
ugly laughter and all.
It would be that way because it would be like look and be like,
Just sitting there, it's like, oh, Queen's Lace, you stole from royalty. What? So that's metal, sister. Birth control.
Well, that certainly wasn't necessary, so that's why.
Kenny would also hear the loud whisper of birth control and like choke on his drink.
And to that, Ciara laughs at him too.
Oh God, I mean, yep.
Raheem only helped me find my way to where I would want to be, where I feel safe. And, well, now he's working hard on this too, and I just hope he's doing well. That's all. I still don't know what I can do.
And you joined the monastery because of your family. Do you think you need to see your family again?
I've been trying to run from them. But I feel like I can't just keep running. I just don't know what to go from there.
I mean...
Is there anywhere they can't find you?
So far, it seems they're on my tail. Or at least something like that. The monastery was safe for a time, but I'm sure that will end soon.
Do you think it would help if we changed your appearance? Or something like that? You do have very light hair. If we were to try to dye your hair, it would take pretty well.
So
She just kind of puts her hand to her hair and be like, no.
So are you an heir to an estate as well? Is that why they're behind you?
No, I suppose the best way to say it is I'm a loose thread that needs to be tied up. I have 3 older siblings, and they're so much older than I am. And then finding out that my family... Here she trails off again.
Your family what?
Sorry, I thought I already talked about Sorry, out of character. I thought I already mentioned the backstory. I thought... No? What's the last name? Who cares? Hold up.
Delia?
Ciara wants to guess this one too and see if she lands gold. She leans over to Ellie. Do you think if I guess I'll get it right again? She says, "Do you think if I guess I'll get it right again?"
I mean, you're 1 for 1.
All right, we'll see if I can get 100. So if I'm batting 1,000 or if I'm batting only 50-50. Let's go. Wards of the state: murderers, assassins. Starts throwing a bunch of things at them all.
Drug dealers?
Well, gamblers, and you have a debt that they have to settle using you as collateral.
I'm guessing drug dealers because there's most money in that. Sorry, spice running.
Spice
running.
Well, from what I understand about my grandfather, he's more the type to hire those people.
Aristocracy.
I call those people.
So he hired gambling thieves, gambler, drug dealers?
Gambling, assassin, murdering, blood dealers. Wait, something got confused.
Blood dealers.
Yes.
You are
I would
confused
think
yourself.
so. I just know that they deal with things that cause pain, and I couldn't deal with that. But obviously I still can't.
Well, you sound terrible.
Part drow? No kidding.
No, not drow. See, I believe, either my monastery, I think my monastery was in the mountains.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, remember the map Tiffany showed me, 1 billion years ago. Either way, you remember, I'm really good with names. Celiana, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's my cousin.
Out of game. Do we know this? I don't think we do.
I don't. So,
I
don't. Let's ask questions.
Ciara. Cousin, I say. Is cousin, you say?
Mean? Celiana's really mean and scary.
Oh.
Okay, well then take what your opinion of a Celiana and multiply it times 70, add a few demons in there, stir it around, set it on fire, and that's my grandfather.
Now, demons that can or can't be reasoned with or bartered with.
So far, no dice.
Lawful evil or chaotic evil?
I don't know my family anymore. That's all I can say.
Ellie, visually, posturally, just, stretched away, mouth agape, and just, Oh, that sounds terrible. Well,
interesting. Ciara, under her breath, interesting. She just seems like part of the tea, so you're like, ooh.
And you don't have to face your family alone. I mean, I would be willing to help. I think we would be willing to help you.
Keyanthi just kind of smiles and says, I do appreciate it, Ellie, but I feel like with everything going on, it's just going to add more on top of it. So it's not that I'm saying I don't need your help or don't want it. I just want to say be careful while I'm here.
It's probably better for us to try to hide her for a while first, and have a plan if we want to go confront her grandfather with her, rather than show up.
I've had a disguise kit with me since even before we left Toril.
But they were able to find you all the way in Toro.
I think that was more of a happenstance. My brother just happened to be there. But don't worry, I made sure we asked, the War Matron's daughter, if you recall. She agreed to help me out by letting me know what's happening over there. So we just have to wait for her to contact me.
Am I worried about the War Matron's daughter, Tiffany?
I feel like you would have heard of her.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, oh my word.
War Matron they're talking about. So to you, War Matron for Egna is a war hero and is lauded. The only besmirchment on her reputation is divided because some of the Drow, particularly the younger generation, think she's too over the top. And then there's another divided opinion about her because her chosen consort is a devil and her sole heir is a tiefling. And the newer generation are about that because they're about new blood and
new things.
And the older generation's
scandal.
We don't want that. So, but generally, she's well respected.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
I mean, well, just know that you don't have to shoulder your burden by yourself. We're all traveling together. We're all kind of in this together, and you've been helping me with my journey. So it's only fair.
You see Kenny kind of he shifts forward, has his drink in his hand, and he says, I think the safest place for you to be would be the Arcadic Empire, because it sounds like your family has ties in the Elven Principalities, and I'll just say the Empire's gone through a lot of lengths to keep the Elven Principalities out. So if your family has agents, it's really unlikely they're going to be elves. So they'd have to get a non-elf into the Empire and then work through it that way. But even so, if you stick to, the mainland or, the capital, it's hard pressed to get there because, they have, he explains it that, they have, strict, immigrant laws.
Yeah.
And most people who want to immigrate, wind up at the port towns, in particular, Binkotu, because that's by neutral sea. And so, a lot of people who want to immigrate into the Empire just kind of, wind up staying there for a long time until they get, passage to get into. And he further explains that, if you're going to go around as, all of you would need to know this. He'll say, when we're in the Empire, you guys will have to either change how you look to look like an arcane elf, or you'll have to basically be someone's, for lack of better slave or blood slave.
So I'm guessing there's not a lot of. I just kind of gesture to all of me, hiccup. Oh, you just kind of gesture to all of me. Anyways, yeah, I just kind of gesture to all of me. I'm I guess they don't have a lot of a lad trends.
You looked a lot closer when you were
Well, you know,
Ciara gestures just to Oliver.
Oh yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I change sometimes.
Yeah.
the Spring Court is by the capital. If you want to try to get to the Fey Forest of the Spring Court, it's by the capital.
Oh.
Wait, so you're headed to Fey Forest?
Well, the spirits told me to seek out Ellendriel. And from what I've gathered, he's a mage from the archaic empire. But I've never seen any other Ladrin. All my life, I've only known myself.
Maybe that's your journey.
Yeah, I guess I could go to the Spring Court.
I mean, if they're gonna be somewhere, I think they'd be there.
And
I
so
don't know if
far,
Ciara has a
it
concept
looks
for
like
what the
your
Spring Court
family would be the nicest of the whole group. So let's
Yeah.
go meet them.
I
Chance.
guess so. It just seems like the Fae are really mean. I mean, they were kind of forcing Sirena in that pact.
That's true.
Sounds like they're working off of their own moral standing.
Yeah, like the three arcane boys are just like
Did she owe him?
they kind of like shift over and look at Narte, and he's just like, and Kenny kind of elbows him. It's just like, okay, well, here's another story about me. The Violet Empire, the Violet Kingdom, is right next to one of the Fey Forests, and I was just playing around in the forest, and I met a Fey. He was really nice, and he gave me my wild magic. And he just said, I think it'd be fun to give a kid these crazy powers and see what happens. And that's how I got.
I mean, fair, but
That's how I got them. And so I never saw it again. But I suddenly had crazy wild magic.
Was he
He
from...
caught a favor.
Yeah.
I point towards Ciara, and I'm like, I saw what you did, that a favor.
Ah, you got me, wee lass. You got me.
I mean,
I think it just depends on who you run into.
Was this from the Spring Court?
Well, the Autumn Court's next to my family's land.
Okay, so it was the Autumn Court that gave you that favor.
Yeah, it was. He was, like squints, and he's just like, he was, he had dark skin, and dreadlocks.
So, like, I mean, not like
wings,
me.
wing. Dragonfly wings.
Hi, this is Tiffany, your DM. Thank you for watching Dungeon Damsels. This is not the end of the session, so please stay tuned for the next part. We update on Tuesdays and Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're interested in supporting us more, please push the subscribe button, like, or comment. We also have a Patreon, wink wink nudge nudge, and our show is in podcast form. You can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Podbean, Spotify, and plenty of other podcast platforms. Thanks, we hope to hear from you soon.